What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Rounding Second. We're on episode 3, week 5 of the NFL season. We got a lot to cover this week, so let's jump right into it. We got WVU Football is dead. It's dying. We lost last week to Texas Tech, pretty rough. And the week before that, rough loss to Oklahoma. So it's over. The season's over. We got 3 losses now. We're playing for the fucking Mickey Mouse Bowl. Like, we're not going to get in a good bowl game. We're done. And we still have a tough schedule. We still have a tough schedule ahead of us. We got to play Texas. We got to play Baylor, a tough Baylor team. Iowa State. Like, we got a ton of tough games. The whole state of Texas was going to whoop us. Every single team in Texas.
Texas and Baylor. Come on now. We can't do that. If we lose to all 3 of them, we can never do Orange Down again. I would be willing to put it on the line. Like, WVU Football, pick it up. Like, Baylor, come on.
Baylor's going to smack
I don't know. I think
Baylor got a good time.
Baylor looks pretty good this year.
Baylor got a good time.
I think the Oklahoma game was a given. I didn't see us winning that from the beginning. However, I was pretty ashamed of the Texas Tech game. I think the ending to that game was I think the whole game was just anticlimactic in general.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a boring game.
Yeah, the game sucked.
Yeah, back and forth. But again, the fact that it came down to that field goal, you never want to lose a game like that to a friggin' field goal.
At home, too.
Yeah, that's a shame. Had my mom and stepdad in town. And, definitely wanted to win, wanted to celebrate. And I remember I was sitting at the bar with them, and
win or lose, we booze.
Yeah, it was definitely a sad atmosphere after that.
Bro, that's the problem with the Oklahoma game, though, because I'm thinking, like, if we get that close, we have to pull out the win. Like, if we win that game, we roll into Texas Tech hot, bro. We win that game, and now we're ranked. Like, we have 1 loss to Maryland. Like, we're looking really good. And instead, it's like 2 field goals and, like, 2 possessions have now turned our season upside down. But that's the difference in college football, bro. You have to be good every week. Every week. And we weren't good this week. And we weren't good last week. Like, we're not better. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not better than everyone else. We got to be better than everyone else.
Right.
It's the little things. It's pissing me off.
Defense looking kind of good, though, I will admit.
The defense does look good, especially at home.
I'm saying at home, like, the defense does put up a good fight, but the only person on the team that I can say without a shadow of a doubt that any time he has the ball in his hands and I shake my head is that boy Dogie or whatever the hell his last name is. Daggy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. That boy cannot throw. Get him out of here. I feel like you can grab anybody in the stands, put a few little drinks in them, and I guarantee you I can even go out there and make a few of them targets. I mean, come on now. The boy's barely throwing for 50 yards. Like.
I know, but, his stats and Spencer Rattler's stats are pretty comparable. But Rattler's been pretty bad this year, too. So
But here's the thing. You flip both sides of a turd, what is it going to be?
It's turd.
Exactly.
All right, well, another big news. The 98 boys came into town. I don't know if most people listening probably don't know. But they're like an up-and-coming, like, Nelk type group. That's, like, kind of their thing. And they hated on us. They hated on WVU, which is, like, #1 party school, and I'll die on that hill. Like, we're always going to be that. And they came in and said we were, like, an average school. And I just can't believe that because I've been to other schools, too.
It was fun because we threw a Wine Wednesday with them. And I think that was from what I haven't seen the video. They gave us, obviously the rights to cancel out anything we didn't want in the video. But Luke said he saw a little bit of it. I have yet to see it. But apparently from what Luke was telling me, the best part of their week was our Wine Wednesday.
That's what they were saying, yeah.
So, I mean, as a whole, coming from, being a student here and really enjoying the atmosphere, yeah, it hurts because the whole time I saw them a few times throughout the week other than the Wine Wednesday, and they, said they were having a good time, said that, this place is insane. But we were talking about this before and getting ready to record this podcast, and it's like Luke was saying, we're a blue collar kind of school. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you go they've been to what? Ohio State and Michigan and Indiana. Like, those are schools that are like super heavily funded, especially in terms of Greek life. I mean, you saw the Indiana University's house tour. There's not a single fraternity house on campus that looks like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ohio State, they're talking about tailgating for them and, you know, whatnot. Yeah, I mean, look at their freaking stadium. I mean, look at their fan base as well. I mean, I just think in that sense, it's like almost comparing apples to oranges because we have such a smaller atmosphere here than I feel like Ohio State does. Right.
It's just a whole different atmosphere because it's like, compare us to any other schools that like we are on an anthill. Like we are packed in like sardines. Our houses and everything out here barely works. But the one thing about it, like everybody else is gonna complain about it. Oh, this, that, and the third. What we do, we say, hey, we got what we got. We gonna make the most of it. And
that's true.
Like, my main thing is that like when people come here, they see how we live, they see how we do, they see how we move, and they try to compete with us. And then how many Snapchats have we seen for years saying, "Oh, this person 0, Morgantown 1." Like, come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's actually
true.
a fact.
Like,
I mean, nobody
And
really
honestly,
parties
one
on
of
a
the-
Wednesday. They said that they
No.
never had they didn't go anywhere where they party on a Wednesday, and I was like, well, like, we party on Tuesday too. Like,
right. Yeah, it's pretty much every night of the week here you can find something to do.
which is why,
I will
I
say-
think that contributes to us being the number one party.
I will say back to what Toothpick just said, I think it's funny that he brought up the, like, Morgantown 1, you know, so-and-so 0.
Yeah.
Because I think another reason why the boys 98 may have ranked the solos because a lot of them took some L's throughout the week, man.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about one of the guys getting knocked out at the bar.
That was rough.
No, that's not even the first L. The first L was all them coming down with mullets. That was the first. Like, first of all, they all look like dweebs and dorks. Like, different sizes, different length, and I'm just like, yo, like, there's no size to y'all. And y'all can't.
That was
y'all
them
don't
Canadian
have
boys.
hands. And the thing about it too, I don't know shade the Canadian boys, but for those select group of Canadian boys, those were horrible representatives for y'all whole little thing. Because one of them don't have hands, and he got put to sleep. He went nighty night.
Yeah,
You know?
I was not there. I was working that night, but I was hearing a lot about how he got into a fight with a member of another fraternity, and he...
Yeah, they said, like, our Greek life is hostile towards each other. They said hostility on the campus is pretty high in general, which is not wrong. I mean...
But again, all right, so again, and, like, I want to reiterate, like, us being a blue-collar school. I mean, first off, Greek life here is so hostile. They are right about that.
Yeah.
But they also have to understand that the Greek life here does things that aren't being done at other schools. That really can't be done at other schools. They're, like, talk about, like, at most schools, the fraternities are run by the school.
Preppy boys.
Yeah, by the school, and then they're nationals. Here, you have fraternities that aren't even nationally recognized, let alone just have disbanded from the school. You have a group, the IFC, that are not affiliated with the school, but the nationals are so fed up with the school that they still keep them on, so they're still allowed to be here. Like, we're doing things... The reason it's so hostile is because there's no regulation to it. Like, we regulate ourselves. I mean, we govern ourselves, really. I mean, we...
Lord of the Flies. Read
Yeah,
the book.
pretty much. It is like Lord of the Flies. So they already is hostile, but it's also pretty empowering, I say, too, because I feel like because of, like, our situation and because of how much the odds are against all of us in the school.
It unifies us.
Yeah, I feel like we've made a lot of, like, connections that years ago when, I mean, Luke and I were pledging, like, we wouldn't have had. I mean, we're hanging out with people that we would never hung out with, throwing parties with people we would never thrown parties with.
All different races, ethnicities, heights,
Right.
weights,
Yeah.
backgrounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the demographics are everywhere.
That's what you need.
So they can say it's hostile, and, like, I'll agree on it. Like, yeah, they're definitely, I mean, there's fights that happen a lot here.
I mean, there's a lot of fights that
I got my
happen.
brother's back, so I know that.
Yeah.
I gotta say on that.
That's the thing about this school too, man. It's like
Fighters.
yeah, people fight.
This school is like one big hockey game.
Yeah, people fight all the
You
time,
see
bro.
somebody be like, all right, throw the gloves off. Like, let's go to this alleyway, throw the gloves off, duke it out, and then like make up, go get a beer. That's how it is around here.
Yeah.
Well, for some people, they get their pride hurt.
Yeah.
And then they want to go do some shiesty things, and then when everything gets shiesty, everybody gets shiesty. All shenanigans.
I mean, like that's the thing though. I noticed pretty quick. Like you gotta have a good group of boys, bro,
They
because
gotta have hands,
like
man.
you gotta fight.
You
Like
got to.
the chances are someone's either gonna try and punk you, and you're gonna have to fight.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Can't
you
be
could
soft out here.
you could try to avoid it, but there's gonna be at least
This
one
town will
time.
eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be soft. You gotta walk around with your chest up and your head held high.
That's
Again, and here's actually one thing I get asked this a lot by friends back home, or I get asked this a lot by just people in general, like, oh my God, what's it like, going to number one part school in America, or what's it like going to a school where like party's the main focus and blah blah. Like, how do you focus on academics? And I think like here's my response every time, and like this is honestly what I'm considering telling my future employer one day, is that like you can take a guy who came out of Harvard, right? Like obviously he's gonna be book smart, down with T, but you can take a guy like me who literally went through the mud for 4 years, self-governed himself,
A people's person.
right?
Like
People's
talk
person, yeah. And I've taught, and built relationships with people that, not even built, but mended relationships with people that had broken them before me. And like the things that we've seen here, like I went through 4 years of things that a Harvard graduate would never even dream of seeing. Like, and that's why I'm like, you can take the guy who is, book smart, or you can take the guy who's book smart and has been through some shit, like seen it all.
I mean, it's almost like yeah, I went to WVU, party basically every night, still graduated, like, what's up? Like, that's a challenge. It's almost more challenging than just doing school.
Yeah, because like you look at Harvard and like their acceptance rate's low, but their graduation rate is very high. You look at our school, our acceptance rate is very high, and our graduation rate is super freaking low.
50%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was less than that when I came to school. I think it was like 32%.
I don't know if y'all remember when our president, Gordon Gee, I remember he said this when I was a freshman in the new student orientation. He said, look to your left, look to your right, 50% of y'all will not be here in a year or two. And I was like, man. And guess what? Like, all the people I knew freshman year, next year, gone.
Yeah, I feel
Flunked
that.
out. Some of them needed to go to rehab. Some of them needed to go, literally got institutionalized. Some of them had, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because this town, it's a devil's playground. It's just you really got to watch your back and really know who you are. Yeah.
I think Luke and I touched on this, like our first episode, about how like we've seen a lot of friends like come and go from the school. Like we made a lot of friends that we've seen just walk out, like they couldn't handle it. I mean, and it's just how it is. So again, like getting back on top of the boys 98, I think I'm more like it's kind of like, yeah, they don't get it. Like they came here for a weekend and they lived an extreme lifestyle, and I think it was a lot for them to keep up with.
Yeah, I think you got to go here to know it.
Like, I'm
Like,
out here for a month, and I guarantee you, in a month
They'll be as psycho as we are.
They'll be different human beings.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, they're gonna try to take the same tendencies here and go back to Canada. They're gonna people up there can be like, "Yo,
Yeah.
what's up with you?"
the
I
same
know.
thing happened with Plan Bree, like, from Barstool. She was saying, like, Penn State was more fun or whatever, but, like, okay, maybe she had a better time, but, like, that does not mean, like, they're more insane than us. Because I think she also said that. She said there's no place like West Virginia. Like, how insane they are, like, the hostility and shit. Like, it's nowhere
crazy,
else,
man.
bro. It's only here. And, like, you have to go here to get that. And I guess she picked it up.
We live on top of each other. And it's
Exactly.
Like, and if you don't like someone and you have to constantly see them day in and day out walking through campus, downtown, in the library,
Yeah.
blood gonna start to boil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing difference about this campus and other campuses are just gonna, mope, pout, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not gonna be confrontational. People here, we be like, hey yo, what you did during I don't like that. So we very confrontational.
Very.
And the one thing about it is that since everybody here fights, we like, hey, we can either talk or we can buck. And a lot of people be like, hey, you know what? We don't like to talk. Hey, our hands do the talking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care for talking either, to be honest. Like, it's just kind of overrated at this point.
Talking for kids and girls.
Exactly, just fucking fight it out. Like,
We're men.
it handles it a lot faster. And I think here, like, a lot of people, like, you fight red, and then it's whatever.
Yeah, I feel like
you
exactly.
take a L. And I'm not gonna sit there and say I won all my fights. Heck no, but I'm saying like when you take a L, it humbles you, and then you start to learn because I'm like, okay, if someone does that, then you're like, all right, boom, this is how I know how to do the defense. So it's like it's just really trial and error out here.
Yeah,
it's a good time though.
It is a good time.
Boxing gonna come out here, especially with the girls out here, man. If you talk to the wrong one, boys will be on you.
That's facts too. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot to look out for. All right, so here we go. Let's jump into wild card baseball. Two insane wild card games. I mean, the Red Sox, Yankees in Fenway, probably the biggest rivalry in all sports, and they're playing in the most famous stadium in all sports. Everybody knows what Fenway Park is, even if you don't even watch baseball, right? And
historic.
Yankees,
so much history there.
Yeah, Yankees got Garrett Cole on the mound. They're stud. They're supposed to be like this powerhouse team. Supposed to have like the best hitters they've had since the death row team, and they sucked. They looked like shit. And the Red Sox,
they absolutely wet
the Red Sox with like a really good team. They got a really good manager. They smoked them 6-2. They whooped. I mean, like they looked like such a better team. And like I think that just says like, yo, that Yankees mentality, like, yo, we're just gonna get whoever, like we're gonna get Giancarlo, we're gonna get Judge, and then we're just gonna hit a ton of home runs and not worry about anything. That shit doesn't work, and it won't ever work because you're gonna have a team like the Red Sox that just plays the game better. Because like at the end of the day, the Yankees aren't playing good baseball. They're playing, oh, we can buy whoever we want and be good at baseball. No.
Right. That salary cap really gets to their head. They think buying the best player is the way to go.
Yeah, but they could do it well, like the Dodgers do it. Like the Dodgers did it great. They won their wild card game. They beat the hottest team in MLB right now, the Cardinals.
That means that there's some management problems. I mean, there's some front office problems that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, I think what's his name is.
Because if one team can do it, why can't everybody? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, whatchamacallit? Aaron Boone, I think, sucks. I hate Aaron Boone.
But like you said that the Dodgers beat the Cardinals, the hottest team base right now. Look, that was a really close. We're not talking about like the Red Sox and Yankees. We're talking
1-1.
This was 1-1 at the bottom of the ninth.
This was a chess match.
This
was a chess match.
Was like your eyes are glued to the screen. Like, yo, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Next.
I was at work watching it, and I remember I turned away for a split second, and I turned around. Game's over. Dodgers celebrating. Chris Taylor 2-run bomb.
I know, he's a stud.
I mean, stud.
He's a stud. And look, I'm not saying the Dodgers aren't a great team. They are a great team, obviously.
I mean, it just hurts because you got to put Alex Reyes on the mound because TJ walks Cody Bellinger. Like,
yeah, that was, well, yeah.
I know you have to take.
I know they had to switch him out.
Man. That's a lot of pressure, especially during the time, especially how hard them boys were fighting each inning and in and out. Man, that's a dogfight.
Nah, it's a lot of
baseball's
pressure.
different because, like with football or any other sport, you can just overpower your opponent. Baseball, it's all mental. Yeah. And if if you're mentally exhausted, you make one error, one mistake, that's the game.
That's the thing about baseball too, because it's like
I love about baseball.
that pitcher, he's got to throw a pitch. There's no clock. Like, he has to throw the pitch. You can't walk everybody. You can't. There's no like. You have to just be better. Like, there's no way around like the sport in that.
The game don't start till he throw.
Exactly. He's got to throw that pitch. It's just like, it's a whole thing, man. But insane wild card games. Insane.
Yeah, like I said, the Yankees game surprised me because I think we talked about this beforehand. The over-under was what really caught everyone's attention for this game. It was 8 instead of 8. And it pushed for a lot of people who took the over. I was predicting the under because I thought, here's my prediction when it comes to overs unders. I think the under's a lock when two teams that are comparably compatible, in talent. I think when they face off, I usually look at the under. I think that's usually going to be a defensive game.
Okay.
This completely threw me off because, like you said, the Yankees didn't look like the Yankees.
That's not a bad strategy, I'd say, but I don't know if that's gonna work all the time.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, it's betting. Nothing's gonna be 100%.
I guess that's true.
But no, that's what I found is more realistic than hoping on an over. And again, when you have Garrett Cole on the mound, like you're thinking it's gonna be a defensive battle. You know what I mean? I was expecting it to be a close game. Even like the Cardinals-Dodgers was gonna be like, hey, 1-1. I was expecting a game like that where it was gonna be low score, tied up at the end, and I could have even seen it go into extra innings.
Well, I mean, to be completely honest, I was on the over in the Red Sox game because I don't like Garrett Cole. I don't like Garrett Cole at Fenway. I don't like Garrett Cole in big games, and I honestly thought Eovaldi would get hit around a little bit more than he did. He only let up one run. I was like, holy shit! Like he was killing it. He looked great out there. But I thought he was going to give up at least one more, and then that would have been an over. But he didn't because he was on. I don't know.
Right.
But, yeah, intense-ass wild-card games. And now the MLB playoffs is set up insanely good because the Astros play the White Sox, which is going to be a really good series. And now the Red Sox play the Rays, which is two divisional teams.
I love the Rays in that.
Dude, that is going to be a hell of a series.
I'm really excited for that series.
It's going to be so good.
Rays.
I like the Rays too. I hope they win it. I hope the Rays win it all this year, but the White Sox team is so good.
I think
the Astros have been there before. The White Sox haven't been there. It's like a really good playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think the White Sox are a very good team. They had some trouble in the midseason.
They did.
They were like finding some
after the All-Star break. They ran into a little
which is it's normal. But I'm just glad that they made it because I think that they have what it takes to.
And that is also the beauty about baseball that I realized too, because when they play over 100 games, you have a lot of time to figure out and put the pieces together in order to make sure you have a way at the at the way at the championship.
Right.
And like the one thing that's like baseball is like no other sport. Like people want to say, oh, it's boring, it's not entertaining, da da da. Go watch another sport then. But if you actually enjoy the art of baseball, and if you actually played baseball and have a history of baseball, then you can actually have an appreciation for the game at the highest level. Like we have guys in the farm league, like JUCO. We have guys, so many people, even overseas, that can ball. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, guys come from the DR like every year, and they're insane.
DR, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Dude, that's what I say to everybody. I'm like, yo, you got to understand the game, and you got to appreciate it. Otherwise, you can't watch it. Like, you're not just going to be able to sit down and have a great time, like, watching baseball, except for, like, some games, I guess. But most of the time, like, if you want to watch baseball and you like baseball, dude, you got to sit down and actually be like, yo, wow, like, I really like this. Yeah, like, the pitching, the, like, players, like, all the stuff. There's something to love there, but I don't think a lot of people can find it.
Agreed. I think it's, like, obviously an American classic. I mean, it screams America. And there's so much beauty into the game, like you said, like, focusing on every detail, like, how intricate every pitch is.
Yeah.
Like, that takes years and years of practice and talent to achieve what these guys are doing.
And anybody can play, no matter how big or how small. One of my favorite players, Jose Altuve, his little Suzuki. Suzuki. These little dudes are out here hitting bombs.
I know.
Out here jumping as high as they can be, making plays, turning double plays, stealing bases. And then you got the big dudes, Aaron Judge, Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
There's another first fielder.
Yeah, man.
Prince
Fielder.
Prince was one of my favorites.
Oh my god, I remember watching him when I was a kid.
My favorite lefty from the Phillies.
Oh my gosh,
Crazy.
Man! Tell me about it, Ryan. That whole 2008 Phillies team, man.
How can we forget about Ortiz?
Oh my god, Big Poppy.
How can we forget about Big Poppy?
Yeah, there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of history, a lot of beauty in the sport. And there's a period of time where I used to like play baseball, and then I stopped because it was too slow for me to play. And then when I got old, and then I went to lacrosse, which I loved. But then I started watching baseball, and I really just found a love for it. I think there's a lot more that goes into watching it than even just playing it. Like, being a spectator of the sport. But yeah, like I said, the wild card games were
wild card week, and I think this is going to be the best playoffs that we've seen ever, because I think every game's going to be like a Game 7 type thing. Like they're all going to be so fucking good.
Yeah,
and the NL side is really good too. Like the Dodgers, it's like the same thing on both sides. You got like the Astros, who I think are more like the Braves, I would say, right? Like just really talented, like hitting teams. And with like really good pitchers too. And then you got like the White Sox, who are kind of like the Brewers, insane pitching, and they got a ton of really talented hitters. And then you got the Giants versus the Dodgers, which is same division teams, who are both fucking insane. Same thing with the Red Sox Rays. Like, I think this is going to be the best playoffs we've seen in a long time.
A lot of people don't understand, like, these chess pieces that go into these playoffs. Like, you can't just have a good pitcher. You got to have good base runners, good, like, hitters. You got to have good fielders. You got to have good outfielders, infielders. You got to have good communication. You got to have one of the best catchers out there who can actually lead and actually, control the situation. You got to have a coach that actually cares about his team. Everybody in that dugout is there for a purpose, and people forget about that in baseball. Is at any split moment, someone can come out and just shift the entire chessboard.
Right.
All right, so let's go Week 5 predictions. That's the next thing I have. Or we could talk about a little soccer.
I kind of want to cover Squid Games real quick.
All right, let's do Squid Game.
Wait, you talking about
the show?
Yeah.
He hasn't finished it, but
I just want to touch, as you know.
Finish it.
You gotta finish it.
Twists and turns, boy.
It's
really
fucking sick.
All right, so I'm sure everyone who's listening to this podcast has heard about Squid Games. It is a dubbed show that was created in Korea.
Well, you don't have to listen to it dubbed, but
right, you can listen to it. Yeah, but it's
recommend not listening to it dubbed because the American voices are horrible.
The American voices are bad, but the show in general is so good.
Amazing. The script, the writing, the characters is easy to get attached to.
So I'm on episode 3. Luke's finished it. I'm sure Toothpick, you finished it.
Episode 3, man. Yeah. You don't even know Jack.
I know, but I'm having a hard time. 6. I'm like forcing myself to stay with it because everyone's saying it's that great. And I heard a statistic from my buddy that it's projected to be Netflix's best show of all time, which is crazy to think about because Netflix has been around since what, 2004?
Yeah,
5.
It's been around
for
a
long time. Yeah, Tiger King took the world by storm too.
Go back to Squid Game though. Like episode 3, you really don't know a lot because that's when it really starting to really introduce the actual game itself.
Right.
Because you're still in the dark a little bit. Like, you know the basics, but you don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes. To quote my man's Morpheus. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, nah, if you all watch the show, you all know that he's in for a rude awakening and for some twists and turns. So I would stick with it.
I'm excited.
I ride that wave out, man.
I'm forcing myself. It's hard though because between the dubbed English, and I just haven't I haven't latched onto a character yet. I
don't.
Yeah, I feel like they're all kind of annoying right now, which is like there's no one that I really am like.
Regular everyday human people. That's the thing. Like there's no ultimate main character. Like we just literally just dropped on someone who we follow. The last character. That was it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we could have literally got picked with any one of them.
Bro, there's a whole thing to it. Like, it's not like any other show. It's like there's a lot that the director did and a lot of shit like that. Like Trav said, bro, they just drop you in with the last character and you follow around the last character. That doesn't mean anything. Like, you see everybody's different type of life and you really get insight on everybody and all that shit, bro. It is fucking intense too. Like all the music they use, all kinds of. There's just so many things that go into it, bro.
Ringing in your head for days.
For days, bro. It sticks with you. It's intense.
Still has I just still think about that.
I watched that. So I did see that scene, the red light, green light.
Yeah, and see, that's one thing.
Yeah.
That was one of the episodes I was like, okay, because that just shows humanity. Because some people they gonna be with it. They're gonna be like, all right, this is a situation we're in. They gonna adapt. But some other people, that fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? It just shows that for majority of people, cut down they were 456 down to what 203 or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I remember
cut
that.
down
Half them, yeah. In like a 5 minutes.
And you know what's crazy too? My favorite part was when like they're all begging and pleading for their lives. Then that big old piggy bank drops down.
Yeah.
And they all see that money and they're like, you know what?
Nah.
I mean,
Wasn't it like the first prize money after the first round wasn't it in the billions already?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was already.
But the thing is, that's not like won, whatever their currency
is crazy,
bro. It's inflated as fuck compared to ours, bro.
Like,
really?
No, like a million won is like 800 US. I don't know, like
It's mad, something mad low.
Metric is
yeah, because like I was thinking about it, right? I was like, this dude, they just said he bought like ramen for like 2,000 won, and I was like, what the fuck, right? So then like I look, because they also say how much that the main character's in debt in like the beginning, and they say he's in debt like 9 million won or some shit like that, and I was like, damn, I was like, imagine that. I was like, no way you're making that shit back. Yeah. Realistically, that's like $9,000.
Yeah, it's like $9,000.
If that. And so I was like,
less.
so like he's playing a game for like a lot more. Yeah, exactly.
One won is literally.
Oh my god.
Literally 0.00084 of a United States dollar.
Oh my god.
Like, it's not worth shit.
Yeah, it's not worth shit.
You can rip off a piece of dollar bill, throw it on the ground. That's lunch for like somebody. Like, I'm not even trying to be stereotypical or anything, but that's the currency out there is crazy.
I know.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty
you think
wild.
of, like Korea, China, U.S., India, Turkey, Philippines, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Like, you got all kinds of money out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah, but that's what was crazy. He's playing like this game to like die, like
childish game.
Seriously, serious shit, bro. For $9,000, yo, he only owes someone $9,000, and you might die for that. Die for $9,000. God damn.
Sang-woo though, Sang-woo, like if y'all know Sang-woo, that's the character with the glasses, and that's like the one that went to the
business school. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, everyone, and, like and the main character, the last number dude, always brags about him. He was in serious debt.
Yeah, he was down bad.
He had the feds on him. Like, even if he won that money, he was going to go to jail. Like,
yeah.
Like,
that was the dude who was like the investor, was it?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like he was fucked up.
He put his mom's business, his mom's house.
Oh, yeah, he used him as collateral. Oh, my God, I remember that,
Do you know how much in debt you have to be to put that up?
Yeah, put your mother's house up.
Right, like he was
she
bad.
She don't even know. Like, she's the most sweetest old woman. She's like, my son, he up in the United States.
Oh, yeah, she's working at that market, yeah. And then the feds showed up.
Yeah.
Right as she was hyping him up to the other lady, yeah.
The lady was like, does he have a woman? Mom said, he has a high taste. I said,
yeah, jail food.
He said,
them jailbirds.
My son likes cuisine. He likes steak and lobster, not ramen and shrimp, baby.
So if you guys haven't, go check out some games. I'm going to finish it. Hopefully I'll be able to give my full opinion next session. But I say we hop into a little NFL news real quick. Just some trades and some drops that have happened this week. I want to cover, Claypool and that whole outburst, as well as my New England Patriots.
Stephon Gilmore.
Giving up Stephon Gilmore.
To the Panthers, right?
Yeah. That was heartbreaking, man. That was tough for me to watch.
4-year Pro Bowl MVP, like,
dude, I'm losing. All my teams are losing everyone, man. I mean, we covered the Cubs. I mean, our first podcast and how we lost Rizzo and Baez and Brian, and now my Patriots gave up Gilmore, man. Like,
I was hurt when y'all gave up Cam Newton too.
I'm not. I wasn't. I was okay with getting up Cam Newton.
He had one more year in him, man. He was Superman, Mr. Auburn.
Nah, dude.
Ain't
I think
was Mr. Auburn other than Charles Barkley.
I think he's washed, man.
He might be. It might be the hair. I don't know.
Yeah,
might be weighing him down.
I don't know. I think he's washed. And Luke actually, interestingly enough, he found out that Mac Jones was teaching him the playbook.
Yeah,
which is that's pretty sad. Not pressed about Cam Newton. Very upset about Stephon Gilmore.
Very upset about Stephon Gilmore.
That was
the one who single-handedly saved some games.
Yeah, man.
Won some, man.
It's because I think
some big Super Bowls, man.
Bill doesn't think you guys got what it takes this year, so he's probably trying to clear some cap.
Yeah.
figure it out for the upcoming
Hey,
years.
Bill's a smart coach. I just think it's gonna be a few years before.
He's a long-term coach.
Yeah, he is. He is a long-term coach.
I mean, he's
And-
not going anywhere.
No,
He's a daggone Sith Lord.
that hoodie's staying there, man.
Steve
That hoodie's
Belichick.
staying there, man.
Steve's taking
Hoodie
over
Bill is
too.
different. Hoodie
Yeah,
Bill is
hoodie,
like
hoodie
Bill.
Bill. Hoodie Bill is hoodie mellow, man. Oh,
Steve
man.
Belichick's gonna take over too once he's gone. That motherfucker is weird.
Look, I also want to discuss. I want to get your guys' opinions on.
Jaguars head coach.
Urban Meyer.
We can't cover that. Yeah, we can't. I do want to cover that too. Yeah, I do want to cover that. But I want to ask you guys, what did you guys think of the Patriots versus Buccaneers? Brady returning to Foxborough. I think the Patriots should have won that game.
I think that Super Bowl hangover is kind of setting in for the Bucks, honestly. And I love the Pats fucking points, bro.
Bill right there.
Yeah.
Like
That was GOAT versus GOAT.
That was lit.
Brady came out hot too. He kept overthrowing motherfuckers, bro. Like he was missing deep. Like
He wanted to. I
Dude.
mean,
Yeah, he
I will admit,
wanted it.
Brady wanted to.
That was Obi-Wan versus Anakin,
did.
man.
He wanted to. He really wanted that game. He was sending that ball, but then he settled down and like kind
Said
of
it's
cared.
too powerful to be kept alive.
But I thought Mac was gonna lead the game-winning drive. It was gonna be like the passing of the torch in Gillette, and then,
Yeah.
like,
I was really excited about that game. I think it was really cool how respectful the Patriots, the fan base were.
yeah. That
So,
was
I
actually
mean,
cool.
it's not like they couldn't be, you know.
Nah, they could have been like, yo, fuck you, Tom Brady, fuck you.
Nah, dude, he was such a big part of our lives, man. Like, there's no way that he would walk back into Foxborough for the first time since he left, and they were gonna give him a wrath of shit, man.
No way. I mean, he
So
literally
gave us more than any other quarterbacks in any other franchise
ever.
Ever.
Yeah, I know.
ever, man. Like, literally.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, yo,
Toothpick
thanks for
T,
saying
man.
on,
Thank
Chad.
you for being on.
Catch
Also,
you later.
you know, Ravens, go, you know what I'm saying?
We get one prediction from Travis.
Oh,
Shout out our buddy Toothpick for being on today.
So we
He's gotta
got.
go, but it was good having him on. First
Yeah, it
guest,
was
first
nice.
guest,
Yeah,
it
a
was
little
good.
first guest.
But let's move on to some predictions.
All right, let's do it.
You want to pull up the schedule?
Yeah. I
All right.
got it.
Luke and I have to go back. Luke said our records are looking pretty good. I
Our
gotta
records
go back.
last week was. I only did mine because it was kind of hard to like jot everything down.
Yeah.
I should have done it like pregame. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
We're gonna
this
go
time.
back and get a full record for our next recording, episode 4,
Yeah.
and we're looking pretty good right now. Though.
Well, yeah. I don't want to jinx anything because every time I say that,
I'm gonna
I get
knock on some wood.
I
right
get
now.
super fucking cold on my picks. I was 12.5 and 3. I gave half because I said Dolphins plus the points, which I guess we're not really supposed to give away the points. We're just kind of making predictions, and they covered with the points, but they didn't win. So
Right.
like I was like, all right, that's more of like a half thing because it's not a win, but it's not really a loss either. And only 3 losses, 12.5 and 3. So I had a bad read on the Titans, and I can't remember the other two.
Well, that was
games.
a pretty out of pocket game. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it was whatever, but it happens. You know, bad read, whatever. Still
Happens,
12.5 other games. You know, sounds
Happens
pretty
to the
good
best
to
of
me.
us. All
But,
right, let's get into it, man. Give me some games.
We got Rams Seahawks tonight, and I think this is a really tough game.
So I understand. I already know where you're going with your pick.
Well, I don't know where I'm going really.
I feel like I know you and I know your picks well enough that I feel like you're going to end up taking the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Rams. I think the Rams are just an unbelievable team this year. Live, young, active, super freaking athletic.
All right, well, let me explain my read because I got to think out loud right here. All right, we got the Rams on the road, who I believe are Super Bowl contenders at this point in the season.
Absolutely.
But they're getting a ton of the public, which I hate siding with, especially in primetime games. And they're playing in Seattle, which is another big deal. Also, at the same time, I don't think the Rams lose 2 straight divisional games if they're a Super Bowl contender. I don't think Super Bowl contenders can afford to lose 2 divisional games. And I think they played at home last week versus the Cardinals, who are really, really good. But at the same time, you don't want to lose 2 divisional games in a row, right? So there's the problem. Seahawks are also wearing their lime jerseys, which are 4-0 in. So, like, and I'm a big mentality guy. Like, look good, feel good. They look good. They feel good. They're going to play good. It's a really tough one. I'm going to have to go. God damn. I'm going to have to go with Seahawks tonight.
I knew it, man. I know you too well. I know the way
hurts.
I know the way you make your picks. I know the way your brain works when it comes to this kind of things. And I don't think it's a bad pick.
Well,
I really don't. I
kind of got talked into it because I am convinced that the Rams are a better team.
No, 100 they are. But that doesn't
And Sean
always
McVay's
matter.
a better coach than Pete Carroll. I think that too. I like Sean McVay a lot more than Pete Carroll.
That's arguable for me.
It is arguable, but
I think Pete Carroll's a great coach.
I think he is too, but I think Sean McVay's like a new young mind, and I think he's got like an edge over.
But
Pete.
I think he's still got some learning to do.
He definitely has
Pete
some learning.
Carroll's got the experience.
Yeah, that's true.
He's been in all those situations.
That's true. I mean, it's a tough one to call for me. My friend kind of convinced me, and yeah, he's kind of shitty at sports gambling, especially. But I think he talked me into this one. I think I'm on the Seahawks tonight, which is probably a bad idea.
I wouldn't say it's a bad idea. I think it's just a prediction, man. And like I said, I'm going to take Rams. Luke's going to take Seahawks. It will make for a good record or records separate a little bit.
I mean,
So may the best man win. You guys heard
it.
It
is what it is. It is what it is. All right, then we got Falcons Jets. It's supposed to be a home game for the Falcons technically, but it's in England.
All right, so originally I was going to take Matt Ryan in the Falcons. I'm going to go with the Jets because as we talked about before, and even what Toothpick said before we even started recording, I think one of the biggest things to look at right now is the momentum that the Jets have after taking down the Titans this past weekend. The Titans are not an easy team to beat. I wouldn't say they're probably middle tier in the NFL right now, but closer to the top than closer to the bottom. And I just think after a win like that, taking on a team that is of less caliber the following week should be an easy dub for them. So I think Zach Wilson's starting to find his groove a little bit.
I think it's like it sucks because I think the Falcons are better. I think they played fine last week. Washington just got the best of their defense, and I don't think the Jets are nearly as good as we are. I think we're significantly better than them. The problem is the Jets are kind of riding a little hot streak being the Titans last week, but that Titans defense is fucking horrible. Zach Wilson has looked horrible, and now he's going to a completely different time zone. It's like a tough game to call in England because there's no home team. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say the Falcons, though, because fuck the Jets, dude. It's the fucking Jets. I just am not going to be that guy. Even though Calvin Ridley looks like he's going to be out, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, it's a tough pick. The factor that they're doing this in London alone is, I mean, that's a huge.
I'm a big home field advantage guy.
Well, not even. I'm just saying, the time difference. I mean, that alone is subject. This game's up in the air for both teams, and that's why I think the Jets also have a really good shot because, I mean, it's not even in America. They're traveling overseas, different time zones, not gonna have too much time to recoup their bodies. Their internal clocks, and I just think if the Jets are gonna end up making another win this season, it's gonna be this game.
I think this is a classic. Try not to overthink it. The Jets are not a good team. I think their win last week was a fluke. I think that I watched the Falcons play Washington last week, and I thought they looked pretty competitive. Their defense is really fucking bad, but I think they looked competitive enough to beat the Jets. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to say the Falcons. I got to.
All right.
Then we got the Pats versus the Texans. Yeah,
you got a 1-3 team versus a 1-3 team.
Yeah, I think the Pats are a significantly better 1-3 team.
Yeah.
I think the public's going to be all over them, but the Texans have not figured it the fuck out. Whatever they're doing, they haven't figured it out. Maybe they figure it out this week at home. Maybe they don't. I'm going to say they're probably not going to. So, because they're the fucking Texans. Whatever. Pats.
I agree.
Miami versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Like I'm not, and it's in Tampa Bay.
I'm not gonna dwell on that. It's gonna be Tampa Bay.
It's like home. It's like don't overthink it. Jacoby Brissett looked like shit. Yeah, the Super Bowl hangover is kind of a thing, but the Dolphins have looked horrible.
If you're in a survival pool and you haven't taken the Bucs yet, look, it's survival pool, man. You're surviving. Take the.
You think that's that much of a lock?
Yeah,
really,
dude. The Dolphins are just like they have nothing going for them, dude.
I guess they don't have anything, but at the same time, I still think their defense is really talented.
Tom Brady.
I still think that they're a scary team.
After a close loss.
Bro, but I don't think the Bucs, like I said, the Super Bowl hangover, I think that's a real thing. I think it's hitting the Bucs. But I don't think that means they lose to Miami at home.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
Then we got Philly versus Carolina Panthers in Carolina. I'm going to say...
This is a tough one.
I'm going to say the Panthers.
I'm going to say the Eagles.
I think the Panthers are really good this year. I know CMC is out, but Chuba Hubbard looked really good last week versus the Cowboys.
I don't know, man. I was lucky enough to get the Panthers week 1 of my survival pool. I just think... I don't know. I just think there's too many losses for them right now. I mean, McCaffrey alone is such a big part of their offense. Like,
I don't think they look that bad versus the Cowboys though. Like they lost 28-36. I know the one touchdown was a garbage time touchdown, but like I don't think that's that bad of a loss for how good the Cowboys have looked recently.
Yeah.
And not only have they won, they're 3-1, but they're 3-1 against the spread too. And I think the Eagles fucking suck. And I think Matt Rule's a really, really good coach, too. So I'm going to have to say the Panthers.
I don't think the Eagles are good. I just think that for some reason I'm telling me to pick them this week.
I think everything goes right for me this week or everything goes wrong. I could see me having like a very, very bad week or a very, very good week. Like last week week 3 I was 12-3. So this is either going to be like, damn, Luke was on fucking fire. Or it's going to be like, damn.
Or Steve was on fire because we're basically picking opposite teams except for the Patriots right now.
I guess that's true. All right, we got the Lions versus the Vikings in Minnesota. I think that's an obvious Vikings. Even though you're
gonna think I'm crazy. I'm liking the Lions.
I could see that. I was just gonna say. I think I could see the Lions putting it together this week because they kind of need it. They haven't won yet, and this is the big divisional game, and usually divisional games mean they're going to be competitive. But I think the Vikings have looked good every single week that I've watched them.
I agree.
So I'm going to have to say that they still find a way to pull this one out.
For some reason,
it just doesn't happen yet. But I bet it's a scary game. I could see it being a close, scary game. So.
It's reminding me. I'm getting the same feelings about as I did with the Jets and the Falcons. I think the Lions are obviously not a good team.
Yeah, I guess
they're obviously low caliber.
I don't know if it's that obvious, but I think they're kind of. They have grit, bro. The way they play, they fucked me last week. I had them to cover versus the Bears, which I guess was a huge mistake. I thought they put it together last week. I feel like they'll put it together.
This is gonna be a big underdog week for me. I'll put it to you like that. This is definitely going to be a big underdog week for me.
I mean, it's due for a big underdog.
I forget who the Bears are playing, but I know I like them as well. Now that Justin Fields is starting.
Yeah.
But in terms of Lions, it's going to be the same vibes as the Jets did, or the Jets are. I don't know. I feel like if it's a week to do it, it's going to be early, and it's going to be now. And I think the Vikings aren't. They are a good team, solid defense. I just think it's going to happen. I'm feeling like it's going to be this week. So I'm going to take the Lions. I'm not 100% sure why I'm feeling that way, but I'm going to take the Lions.
All right. I mean, it is what it is. It's just like I want to be like, yeah, Lions put one together. But I don't know. I don't think so. Then we got Titans, Jags in Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs one pretty bad. Urban Meyer. But at the same time, the Jags look like a fucking dumpster fire. They haven't put shit together. Urban Meyer's all over the fucking press, in the media, looking like a scumbag, feeling up on some bitch in the club when he has a wife. I think he sucks. I think he's a horrible head coach. That's just personal. I think Urban Meyer's a loser. And I think fucking Titans bounce back and beat the shit out of the Jags because they lost to the Jets last week, and that was embarrassing as fuck for them. And if they lose to the Jags this week, then they should just cut the team. So
I couldn't agree more. I'm taking the Titans as well. They're actually my survival pool team this week. So yeah, I like the Titans. Again, I couldn't agree more about everything you said about Jacksonville. I don't think Trevor Lawrence has found his groove.
I don't think so either.
I just think there's so many problems with
I think
that
the
team
Titans
as a whole.
defense
It's going to
is
take.
bad,
It's
though.
another team that's going to be years before they discover anything.
I can see that. Like I said, though, the Jags need to put something together this week. They're only 4.5-point dogs, which is not that big of underdogs for.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird spread.
Yeah, which for how bad they've played and what's going on with them, it's really not that big of underdogs. So that scares me.
I think the only reason is
time,
because the Titans lost to the Jets last week.
It could be, but I don't know. I don't know if that's.
I don't know. We're Vegas.
Maybe Vegas doesn't. Man. Maybe they don't like the Titans, and I can see that. But
Vegas has time travel.
That's not gonna take me off of the Titans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I. One thing you just can't do is take bad teams. Like, it's hard to be like, yeah, this bad team is gonna fucking be good this week.
Dude, I'm telling you.
So like, I have to say the Titans.
I am this week. I don't know why. I'm just feeling a lot of underdogs this week.
I could see underdogs having a week, but I don't know if it's this one. Then we got Denver, Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Big game for Pittsburgh because they fucking suck.
All right, this game is going to be super interesting. I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to take the Broncos because I just think that Roethlisberger is so washed up, man. I think looking at his passing is so unbelievably horrible. It looks like he just looks like an old ass man out there anymore. Like, he just doesn't look. He's not himself anymore. I mean, he's done, man. I mean,
I think
about decline in career. Like, he's done.
Yeah,
they need a new quarterback. They need one quick. He's done.
This game fucking sucks because I think the Steelers got what it takes to win this. Because I think Denver's record's kind of inflated, and Teddy Bridgewater's still on injury protocol. I don't know if he's going to play or not. I know he's going to at least be missing some practice because of it. If Drew Lock gets to go out there, fucking pray if you have the Broncos because he sucks. Also, it's in Pittsburgh, and they need to win pretty bad. And they haven't had a losing season in years. Mike Tomlin's really good after coming off a loss. I'm going to say Pittsburgh.
What do you think about the rumors going around that the Steelers are going to grab Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, right.
You don't think so?
No. Guarantee you no.
I don't know, man.
I really don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so because I don't think Aaron wants to
it.
be in Pittsburgh. I don't think he wants to go to the West Coast or down south. He does not want to be. If he's retiring, like he's going to a retirement home. Same thing Brady did. He went to Tampa Bay. Like he could have went to other teams that were better contenders than Tampa Bay at the time, and he went to Tampa Bay. Yeah, it was a great fit. They really needed a QB, and they had a lot of pieces around Jameis Winston that worked.
Right.
But like I think it's the same thing for Rodgers. Like he's going to a retirement home somewhere. He's not going to fucking Pittsburgh. All right, so I got the Steelers. Green Bay versus Cincinnati. It's in Cincinnati. Green Bay, obviously.
Joe Burrows is looking a lot better. He's definitely looking like an LSU Tiger.
Well,
I don't know. I'm going to take Green Bay.
I mean, this was a tough one because Cincinnati's been playing really fucking good. They've been playing really good. The stadium's been
I wouldn't
packed.
say that.
The stands have been at. I think they're 3-1
because they only beat the Jaguars by a field goal.
That's true.
So I wouldn't say they're playing. I mean, they're playing good, but they're nothing special yet. I think you're gonna give it to the veteran. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna take it this week. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a stud. The Packers look good. Like I said, though, I don't think – I said – all right, so when the Bengals played the Jags, I had the Jags spread. Why? Because the Bengals aren't that good. All right, I said they've looked good. They have looked good, but they're not a good team, not yet, especially. And now they're playing the Packers. I know it's another home game for them. They got back-to-back home games, and usually that's pretty good for a team. But I think I'm just going to go with the better team again. That's kind of my vibe this week. I'm going with the better teams to play better. So, Packers. But I could see like an over maybe, because I really don't think I don't know how well the Packers defense has looked. I don't think they've looked good. And I think Joe Burrow's been kind of tearing it up. Joe Mixon's looked really good, and so has Jamar Chase, the little boy. Yeah, so
Jamar Chase, absolute savage. Such a good pickup.
So that's the thing I'm worried about, though, is like I don't know if the Packers defense is going to be able to hold it down in a tight situation where it really matters. They just signed Jalen Smith. Like that's kind of like that looks like a weak move. Like, oh no. Like we had to sign someone that got cut mid-season. That's like a weak move. I don't know. I'm going to say the Packers. I'm going with the Packers.
I'm going with the Packers. But, I mean, I still think it's going to be a good game.
So we got Washington versus the Saints. Washington, obviously. I'm never not going to say.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty shocked myself that I'm going to say Washington as well.
Good for you.
Yeah, well, all right. And here's why. Because our buddy Fish
welcome to the train.
Shut the hell up, man. I'm not on no fucking train.
Welcome aboard.
yeah.
You're going to be a Washington fan one day.
Dude.
You are. I'm going to convince you to be that this team has something special. And you're going to enjoy the misery that we go through week by week. It's a fun time.
Yeah, it sounds great, man.
Takes a toll on your mental health.
Yeah, it just really does wonders for your mental health.
Yeah. Fucks you up.
Look. I think the Saints are a lot more talented than people give them credit for.
I think that's true.
Especially with Winston right now. Mm-hmm. I think he's actually a pretty good fit.
I think their defense is tough too.
Yeah, they have a pretty good defense, pretty solid defense. But after seeing, and this, not to beat a dead horse, but I'm getting another kind of underdog vibe along with the Jets and whoever else this week is because the problem is that the Washington football team has a really rough schedule ahead of them.
We do.
A really tough schedule. And I think, again, if it's a week to do it, it's going to be this week.
This is a big week for us because we go into the Chiefs next week and then the Packers the week after.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of, you're right. It's a pretty big week for us. And it's at home. So like it's at home and we have a really tough schedule ahead of us. It's kind of like
the next 9 games, right? For you guys, it's going to be tough. I mean, even this
all the way till the end of the season.
This week considerably is a tough.
Yeah.
This week is a tough game as well. I just think, again, if there's a week to do it, it's going to be this week. That's my motto for this week. For week 5, there's a week to do it. It's going to be this week. You might be
right. I mean, I bet we could figure out a stat that's like, yo, this is the week where a lot of underdog teams turning around a little bit or a lot of teams on the brink try and flip the switch. I think that's us this week. I think we have to flip the switch because we almost lost to the Falcons. And if we would have lost and we'd be 1-3 right now, then our season would be over. Yeah. We'd be done.
Agreed.
Because then we go to the Saints, Chiefs, Saints, Chiefs, Packers. Then we have the Raiders in there. Like, we have a really tough road ahead until our last 4 weeks, which are all divisional games. We play the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Giants all in our last 5 weeks, actually, which is fucking ridiculous. But it is what it is. So then we got next week. All right. So we're both on Washington. That's nice. The Bears versus the Raiders. You just said you were on the Bears.
I'm going to be on the Bears. Yeah, I remember. I was like, oh, yeah, it does sound familiar. All right, man. There's a week to do it. It's going to be this week, man.
I think it's the Raiders game in Las Vegas.
It's a scary game.
I could see them losing. I'm not going to lie. But I think it's their game. It's their game to lose. Like, the Bears have to take it from them at in Las Vegas.
Yeah, they got to
it's
make a
there.
stand, man.
Yeah.
Like Justin Fields got to prove a point.
And I don't think
really
I don't think
fucking
he's that
excited,
good.
dude.
I don't think Justin Fields is that
I
good.
disagree.
And I think
he's
John
gonna have a
Gruden
great game.
and that Raiders defense, I think, is good. And I think they're gonna eat fucking Justin Fields alive. And I think Derek Carr. See, the Bears defense is still really good. That's another thing.
They do have that going for them.
Yeah, but I think the Raiders get this one.
All right, so I got Bears. Luke's got Raiders. Let's move on to the next game.
Browns versus Chargers.
This is going to be the closest
LA.
game of the. This is going to be the closest game of the week.
Insane. This game's gonna be really
I'm
good.
very excited to watch this game. This is tough, man.
This is a good game. I think I'm gonna go with the Browns
I'm gonna go with Baker, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Baker
because we were both riding them versus the Chiefs week 1 too.
Yeah, we were.
I love the Chargers this year. I
do
said this
too.
week 1 too. I said
Yeah.
I really, really, really like the
I remember
Chargers.
saying specifically, I love Justin
Yeah,
Herbert.
I really think they have a really good team. I really like their coach.
Hell yeah.
I think their coach is a fucking mastermind. Like, I think I'm really high on the Chargers, but I think the Browns are really fucking good this year. They're tough. Like, they grit games out. Myles Garrett looks like a freak.
Yeah, that was actually, dude, that was so funny. Did you see?
Yeah, they
he
drug
said that-
tested him.
Yeah, he said the one game I wear, I go sleeveless. They pop a drug test on my lap the next day.
Bro, I think the Browns team, man, they just got a lot of grit. They win close games. Like, they're a really talented team. This game is going to be so good. But I think I have to give it to the Browns. And a nail biter, though.
It's gonna be a really good game.
A really tough one. But the Chargers, they had a long week, right?
See, all
Wait,
right,
did
all
they
right.
play on Monday? They played on Monday night, right? So they got a short week. Yeah.
So this is all right. Honestly, I think so. As I was saying earlier with baseball, right? My theory on the over under is if the teams are evenly matched talent wise, it's gonna be under. However, with football especially, you really have to look at the defense versus offense. Dude,
Yeah.
I think this is just going to be a gun show.
You really think?
I think it's going to be...
I kind of feel like it's an under.
Nah,
I think that Browns defense is really good. And I think that Chargers defense is really good.
I think
too.
they're really good, but I think, dude, Baker at quarterback,
But
and Justin Herbert at quarterback, you got some young talent out there.
After last week, did you see their score last week, the Browns? It was really low scoring.
Oh, yeah.
14-7.
Yeah, I was about to say 14-7. Wasn't that Vikings?
Yeah, they played the
Yeah,
Vikings.
I did see that.
Yeah, that was a really low scoring game. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they can do that again, right? Like, what are the odds they have that low scoring again?
Right.
I'm usually not that hot on over-unders, though, so maybe it is a over.
I'm thinking over. All right, let's move on. What do we got?
Giants versus the Cowboys.
Enough said. Not
Yeah.
even going to entertain anything else.
Okay, but I'm going to say this. I think the Giants cover. I know that's really crazy, but I think they're going to cover.
I like
and
it.
it's only 7.
Hey, if it's the week to do it, it's this week.
Well, I only say this because Daniel Jones on the fucking road is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I saw something that showed his interception to touchdown ratio at home, and it's basically even, which is really bad. And on the road, dude, it's like he has like basically triple the amount. Oh, thanks. He has basically triple the amount of touchdowns than interceptions. Like, he's really, really good on the road, especially in divisional games. So I kind of I think the Cowboys win because I don't think if they lose, that'll be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
I really hope they lose.
A lot of people's faces. I love the Browns,
Oh
but
my
I just don't think
God.
it's going to be this week.
I don't think so either. But I think they can cover. I think they could cover 7.
I like that prediction.
But I think the Cowboys win. That's a tough one to call right there.
That's a tough one to call.
Because the Cowboys have been blowing teams out.
They have been.
Yeah, they've looked really
Their schedules
good.
have been overly difficult, though.
I guess that's true. Well, they beat the Chargers barely, but they did.
Yeah.
That was a good win.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's a sneaky cover from Danny Dimes. All right, so next game, Cardinals versus the Niners.
Got the only undefeated team left
Yeah.
in the NFL right now. The
And
Arizona
somehow-
Cardinals versus the Niners. I'm going to take them 5-0.
Dude,
Well, and here's why, because Garoppolo didn't practice yesterday, right? So he
Yeah.
might not even start. This might be Trey Lance's first
If
game.
it's Trey Lance's first game, then I'm going Niners.
Really?
I love Trey Lance.
I love Trey Lance. I don't know, man.
I'm really high on Trey Lance. I think he's going to be really, really good.
I just think
And I think he runs that offense better than Jimmy does.
Yeah. I don't like Garoppolo at all.
I don't either.
Dude, when I found
He hasn't
out
looked bad this year.
the Niners sided with Garoppolo over the
saw
Brady,
that.
and yeah,
He's a dickhead for that, though.
what do you mean? Oh, Brady.
Jimmy's always been his backup, and he's like, hey, I'll come to San Francisco and take Jimmy's fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, man. Go somewhere else. You know you could get a job
it's
anywhere
cutthroat,
else.
man.
I
mean,
know, but still, like, it seems kind of like a dick, man.
It's Tom Brady, man. He
Bro,
can
but
do whatever
Tampa
the fuck
Bay,
he
I
wants.
think Tampa Bay has better receivers, better
You mean
defense.
Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay. Blah. I think Bruce Arians is a really good coach. I think that they were better set up to like take in Brady and win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
I like Brady in Tampa Bay better than I would have probably liked him in San Francisco.
really,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying.
I mean, how can you not say opposite? You won them a Super Bowl.
I think if it's Trey Lance, I'm on the Niners plus the points. But
I'm gonna say Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. I think that offense is explosive.
But you know what's really, really weird? San Francisco's getting 53% of the bets and 62% of the money on the road in Arizona against the only undefeated team left. Is that not weird?
That's weird. Vegas knows something, man.
But that's the public. The public is
you know,
taking
actually,
them.
you know what? Nah,
That's weird.
that seems like a trap to me.
What does the Cardinals?
Yeah.
That's why when I saw that I was
Look,
like,
well,
whoa. But then why are the
I-
Niners getting them?
I'm taking the Niners points.
But the Niners getting more bets and more money. Do you think that many people are seeing the trap?
What did you say the Niners spread was?
It,
Plus what?
It opened at 1. It was a pick 'em. It opened
They're
at
plus
1.
The Niners plus 1.
Yeah, it's moved though to 5. They've
Okay.
moved them to plus 5.
So man, if you got
They opened as -1 favorites, bro.
if you got the Cardinals at -1, good for you.
Seriously.
Seriously, good
Yeah,
for you.
no, that's really.
I would have thrown the house on that.
I mean, even if they lose, that's a great bet.
-1. The only undefeated.
They're really talented. I mean, the
really
Cardinals are really good,
Really good.
which is why I don't understand why more people are betting on the Niners on the road.
Because I think a lot of people are thinking like you, man, with Trey Lance potentially start. I mean, it's looking like he's going to get the start. I think a lot of people are thinking along the same lines as you, where I just don't think Garoppolo's the future of this franchise.
I think Trey Lance is the future, but like, it's the public. You know what I mean? Like the public. I always hate betting with the public. And like this is one of those times where I'm like, why would the public?
The public's out to make money. Dude.
But it seems like the public would be on the Cardinals, no?
Well, that's difficult when you're looking at it from a bettor's perspective, right? Because you look at it from you're logically, yes, the Cardinals are a better team. They're the only undefeated team left in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray and that offense are just dominating right now.
Exactly.
They're so freaking good. But when you look at it from a betting perspective and winning more money, to the public, like the betting public, they want more money.
They're on the spread though.
So I thought you said
No, they're on the spread. Sorry.
okay.
Let me see the money line.
I want to see
64%
for Niners.
is on the Cardinals, and 85% of the money is on the Cardinals. Mine's 220.
Right.
Okay.
So
I guess that makes
sense.
more sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense. Well, yeah.
But only 64?
Yeah, I know.
And most people probably got them at -1.
I know, a -1.
Or they probably got them at, if they were +1, then they probably would have got them at like -110 odds.
I think it's going to be a really cool game.
Oh,
I'm pretty
wow.
excited about it.
This
Especially
is
if Trey
fucked
Lance
up.
gets the start.
I think I'm going to go with the Niners, though. This,
gonna
like I
take the
said, this could be a
Cardinals.
really bad week for me. Or it could be really good.
I'm going to take the Cardinals.
We're pretty
because
split.
because I don't think the 49ers are so far off where they're one of those underdog teams I'm considering this week where it's this week is the week to do it. They don't fit in.
But do you think it's a week where the Cardinals go 5-0?
Yeah.
What
I
are the
do.
odds of that? Of them going 5-0?
I'd say from an underdog perspective, they're being 5-0 or the 49ers winning. I feel like more of an underdog is them going 5-0, realistically. I mean, the 49ers are a pretty good team.
All right.
If Trey Lance starts, I think that'll be a pretty interesting mix.
I think this game's going to be insane.
I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, shit, that's a tough one. Niners, fuck it. Buffalo versus Kansas City. Great game ahead. Kansas City's at home. I don't know where my read's at on that, to be honest. I think Buffalo's better than them. But
I was looking at it before, and I think Josh Allen's the way to go. But this is a hard game to bet on. I mean, this is a matchup that was really big last season as well.
this is a game I would never bet on.
No, it's almost impossible.
Because, like, I think Buffalo's better, but they're going to Death Valley, which is a very tough place to play. And I think Kansas City has had a harder schedule so far than Buffalo. And, yeah.
I can attest to that.
I think I'm going to go Kansas City.
I'm going to go Buffalo.
I don't. That's a really tough one because Kansas City's defense has gotten shit on this year, and Josh Allen is gonna eat them alive.
Yeah, there's no way that. Here's the thing, this will be a battle of the defenses.
But you think Kansas City goes 2-3?
There's again, dude. It's a weird season. It's been a weird first couple 4 weeks.
I did say at the beginning of the year I think they were gonna have a bad year, but like this is
bad. It's a weird, dude. It's been a really weird first 4 weeks for a lot of teams too, not just the Chiefs. I mean, this is a weird season.
This is a rough one. But I also think, like I said, I think Buffalo's better, and they're +3 underdogs. If anything, I feel like it should be a pick'em. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I think it's gonna. Like I said, I don't think you're gonna have a problem. I don't think Mahomes or Allen are gonna have a problem showing up.
I think I'm gonna go Kansas City.
I think it's gonna be a battle of the defense on this one. Who's gonna stop? Who's gonna ultimately stop who?
I think that's true, and I think Buffalo's defense is better. So
exactly.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo. You're gonna go with the Chiefs. All right.
Yeah. Fuck. Damn. That's a tough one.
It's gonna be a cool week.
It is
excited.
This is one of the better weeks I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
I felt like week 3, even though I was kind of like, I had a better grasp on things. This week I'm kind of like, damn.
Think of it like this. The reason I think this week is so interesting and is going to be really like cool to watch is because all of these matchups, if we're talking about last year, or even if like a normal season, I would have been picking completely different.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I would not be taking the Eagles over the Panthers. I would not be taking the Bears over the Raiders. You know, I think because of how weird the first 4 weeks of football have been for a lot of these teams and their schedules, the records are all over the place. And I really think that, like, because of the first 4 weeks, it's been weird, which is why I'm feeling so many of these underdogs this week.
All right, I gotcha. Then you're going to be, I think I can tell where you're going then with this next game. It's Baltimore versus the Colts Monday night in Baltimore.
No, see. No, I can't go that underdog, man.
You can't go with the Colts?
No.
But you're saying, man, like it's a weird week. Like
it's a weird week. It's a weird week.
The Colts are a team that is like, if things are going to get weird, they're going to get weird.
I almost don't want to even give my prediction for this week. To be completely honest, I almost don't because I'm not entirely sure of how I'm feeling about this game.
I'm really worried that my picks are going to suck this week.
You know what? I'm on the train of if it's a week to do it, it's going to be this week, week 5. Give me the freaking Colts, man.
Shut up.
Give me the Colts.
Are
man.
you crazy?
Why not? Give them to me, man. I'm going to take the Colts. Why not?
I really like the Colts points.
What's the spread?
7.
Yeah.
And see, I feel like such an asshole because honestly, the Ravens have played phenomenal this year despite having all these injuries. But the Colts are such like a nitty gritty, like we're gonna fucking run the ball down your throat, like we make you play physical team. That I think that they can get to the Ravens because I don't think the Ravens are really like let's play physical type of team. I think the Colts are that team, and I think they can bring that physicality to Baltimore that they haven't really like. You know what I mean? I think the Raiders brought that physicality to the Ravens, and that's why the Ravens lost that game, because they were really physical. The Raiders were a really physical team. So if I had to take anything, I'd take the Colts and the points, because I think they're going to be really physical, and like that's going to be a game changer. But I also kind of want to say the Ravens are going to win still. Like, they're the better team. Like, this is kind of the trend I've been on this week, is like better take the better team, because the better teams are going to win.
All right, so here's where I'm thinking with this game, and I think the biggest thing for me is that I can't necessarily lose other than my hypothetical record that we have going.
Yeah, it's just
right?
a hypothetical record.
But, you know, I think since I am taking a lot of underdogs this week, and I think a lot of those underdogs are going to end up hitting, I'm comfortable with taking this pick, because here's the thing. I either come back next session that we record and I'm living because I predicted the Colts beat the Ravens, and then I'm just a genius. If they lose, though, it's not going to be like – it was almost expected. Like, out of everything, that was super expected. So I'm not – I'm kind of in like a win-win. I wouldn't say win, but win, barely lose situation. But yeah, I'm like
I know
a
what
lot of
you
underdogs
mean.
this week, so I'm gonna
you
go
are.
with the Colts, man.
I knew
I'm
it.
gonna go with the Colts, man.
Feeling weird.
Yeah, I'm feeling freaky, dude.
Nah, man. I mean, like I said, the physicality thing, like, I feel like I have a pretty good read, and I really like the Colts spread on this. I don't think I have a great read on most of the games, but this is a game where I'm like, who did the Raiders struggle against? Well, they struggled against the Lions because they barely won that game, and then they struggled against the Raiders because they lost that game. And what did the Lions do? Play very physical. What did the Raiders do? Play very physical. What did the Colts do? Play very physical. They're a physical team.
Right.
I know their injuries and shit is going to kind of come into play, but same time, like, they're going to make the Ravens play the game. Like, they're going to have to make tackles. They're going to have to stop Jonathan Taylor.
They're gonna have to play
Like,
up.
So I think, like, it's a big game. I think it's a big deal for
Okay,
them.
but here's the thing, and here's one thing I want to leave you with. We know like you're saying, we know the Colts have to show. We know that they have to play their best freaking football. But do you think the Ravens are going to adapt to that, or do you think they're going to play down? Because that seems to be there seems to be a huge trend with games like this where those teams will oftentimes play down.
If they
We
play
saw
down
the
to the
Titans and Jets
Colts
last week.
Bro, I think if they try to play the Colts game, then the Colts are going to walk them, because they're not going to outplay the Colts in the Colts game. But I think if they keep doing their thing and they keep like playing that fast-paced offense, then it's going to be a really good game, and the Colts are going to have something to worry about. But I like the Colts points. I like the Ravens, though. All right, so last thing we had was son of a bitch, my laptop died. Well, Washington got rated by the DEA, and it was... Do you remember what it was, the last thing that I had? I had one thing. God damn it.
I don't. I just think let's just talk about let's talk about them getting rated, and I just want to touch on hockey's back, which is super exciting.
Let's talk about hockey for a little. I
Hockey's
don't really
back,
know that
man.
much about hockey, but like I know a lot of people love it. And I know I was so bad at betting on hockey last year that all I did was just take the opposite of what I actually wanted, and I used to hit. I was actually doing pretty good doing that strategy.
Right.
So what is it, preseason right now?
It's preseason right now. I don't know, man. I am super excited. I'm a huge hockey fan. I've said this before. I love hockey. I don't care who's playing, what game's on. I'm most of the time watching it, whether I'm doing homework, whether I'm just sitting there relaxing. Most of the time, after a long day of school, working out, whatever, I am watching hockey.
So it's kind of like how baseball is for me. Like,
Right.
I just watch baseball all the time.
Right. I
Who's your,
really enjoy hockey.
Who's your champ? Predict the champ right now.
Champion going into this season?
Lightning, right?
Whoa, no.
How? How could you not
No,
say the Lightning?
no.
Like, they're the fucking Patriots of the goddamn NHL.
I know.
They're
are.
insane.
They are. I don't know, man. That's really tough. You know what? I want to hold off on that question. I want you to ask me that next week. I want to do a little bit more. I want to watch a little bit more preseason.
We'll write it in a little bit more next week.
We'll
talk
watch
a little bit more hockey.
I do think the team to watch this year, and this isn't. I don't want this to come off as biased because I am a Flyers fan, but it is the Flyers because they're off to a rough start in preseason. But I really think over the past few years they were finding their groove, especially right before COVID hit. When COVID hit, it actually screwed up everything for them that I think they had going. So I think the team to watch and look out for this season is the Flyers. I think they're going to start off slow, but I think through the middle of the season, they're really going to start amping it up.
You were pretty good betting on hockey last year, too.
Yeah, I really, like I said, man, I just watch it so much. My record last year, I was pretty good with hockey.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, that's the reason you brought me on Hidden Gems was because of.
Yeah, I remember.
Was because
talk
of
about some
hockey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, super excited. Hockey's back. It's a great time. This is one of the best times of the year. So enjoy while it lasts because we got football. We have hockey coming back. We have playoff baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all happening right now. It's great. So
it is great. Yo, all right, here it is. My laptop's back alive. We talked about soccer the very first week. We're going to talk about this real quick. Newcastle, a pretty shitty club in England in the EPL, it just got bought by a Saudi Arabian guy. And you know how, I'm pretty sure it's like a Saudi Arabian, oil prince type guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? He has a ton of money in the country and shit like that. And you know how Man City, we're Man City fans, our owner is very rich. He has about $28 billion. So he has an infinite amount of money to spend on our club, right? Well, why don't you take a wild guess how much money this guy has? Because we have the richest owner not anymore. So it's more than our owner, but we had the richest owner in the EPL. Guess how much money this guy has?
I couldn't.
No, you can't.
I really can't. I couldn't even.
No, you can't.
A number isn't even popping in my head.
Think about it. It's in the billions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Is it?
Our owner has $28 billion, about $28 billion. So think about how much he probably has.
I'm gonna go $53 billion.
Okay. Close. Not really. $320
oh my
billion. $320 billion? Who the fuck has that?
Dude, he could spend $1 million a day for the rest of his life and still have money.
Yeah, forever. No, he has an infinite amount of money,
That's
and now
insane.
he bought an EPL club, and now, sorry, Steven's landlord just showed up. So he bought this EPL club, and what Man City did was they transformed our owner, who has a ton of money, transformed us into this powerhouse because he had so much money. And realistically, all you have to have is money in England in soccer because you just buy everybody. You buy all the players, you buy all the nice stadiums, all that shit, and then all that comes And so now here's the thing. Newcastle's owner is just going to do that. He's going to buy all the players. He's going to buy the nice stadiums. He's going to buy all the nice stuff. And we might be witnessing a new powerhouse team. And Newcastle has never been a team that's that good at all. It's a pretty big development in the soccer world, if you didn't know. So I think we're going to wrap this thing up. Steven's not here to wrap it up, but we're hitting just about an hour and 23 minutes. Probably the longest podcast we ever had. We had Trev on today for a little bit. Hopefully that sounds good. And we'll see you guys next week.